Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
IPL 2025 has given us a champion we'd never seen before. Now we strive to do something we haven't really done before. Convince you that we have a team of the tournament that has your nod of approval. It's a tough task, and for that, we've got the might of the timeout panel here. Tom Moody, Varun Aaron, and it's such a tough ask that I had to ask Ronak Kapoor to move that way so he can lend his selection intel to this discussion.
Always need a lawyer.
Gentlemen, we have come up with a 12 of our own. It is only a proposed 12, and we want to see whether you agree with it or not. So here it is. Here's what we've got at the end of this season. Sai Sudarshan, Virat Kohli as the openers, Joss Butler as the wicketkeeper. It was tough picking that middle order. Yes, we don't have Nicholas Pooran because it was tough to fit in all those batters who've done so well at 3 and 4. So Surya and Shreyas Iyer form our middle order all-rounders. The Pandya brothers with Naman Dheer sandwiched in between as a finisher. Noor Ahmed is the sole specialist spinner, and our three pacers are Jasprit Bumrah, Prasidh Krishna and Josh Hazlewood. 3 overseas, we're going with 112, so there's no confusion with the team sheet if we get things wrong at the toss. Now, let's start from the top. Is everyone convinced with the openers? Sai Sudarshan, Virat Kohli, lots of openers who obviously had bumper seasons. But are you in agreement?
Yes, I'm happy with that pair.
Sai and Kohli. So I have a Shubman Gill preference here.
Okay, over
Kohli.
Okay.
All right.
I've gone Kohli only because he's playing the final. They've had similar seasons, Kohli and Gill this year. Sai has obviously stood out by miles.
Yep.
So Sai has to be there.
I was tempted to actually bring in Phil Salt also over there.
Yeah.
The impact he's had.
Yeah.
Now, there is a version of this that we're doing just before the final.
Correct.
So now, assuming Salt has smashed it in the final or Kohli has smashed it in the final, I'm happy with either of them replacing the second batter. But if the panel's happy with Kohli, then that's 2-1. So I'm happy with Sai and Kohli. But a special mention to Priyansh Arya and Prabh Simran for getting 500 odd runs, 405, 480 and 500 odd runs in a debut season.
There's a few, isn't there? Jaswal as well.
Yeah,
Another
Mitch
big
Marsh
season.
has scored 600 plus runs.
Yeah.
Suryavanshi, huge impact.
Absolutely. Bumper season for openers and top 3 batters, and which is why one of the top performing number 3s didn't end up making it. The middle order is where we had a tough time even for this proposed 12. Tom, 3, 4, 5.
I've got Butler 3. I agree with that and keeping. 4, I have Surya Kumar Yadav. And 5, I have Shreyas Iyer. And he is my captain.
Varun.
I've gone Iyer 3, Surya 4 and Joss 5. Because Joss can bat number 5, I think Iyer is best suited for that number 3. And after that innings versus MI, I am not moving him from that position.
I'm happy with the personnel. I think they all just have to be flexible, all padded up, looking at the appropriate matchup.
Looking at Tom Moody, the coach of this.
Yeah, Butler, Surya, Shreyas, there can be little doubt, but I have certainly thrown Nicholas Pooran into that team. He has to be there.
We haven't got to that. I agree with you. He's in my team.
Which I'm bringing Pooran in because then you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, all of whom can be flexible looking at what kind of opposition you've got going. But I don't see how we can not have Pooran.
Yeah, in all fairness, we were trying to be true to positions. It did feel like a pinch to not have Pooran given the kind of season he had. So are we saying we're okay without a Hardik Pandya or a Naman Dheer at 6 or 7 and Pooran instead at 6?
I'm personally 100% behind Pooran. You don't strike at 190 plus, hit the most amount of sixes comfortably than anyone else, have the impact that he has. I don't care whether he bats 3, 5, 6, he's in my team.
I've just gone with Hardik Pandya and Nehal Wadera instead of Naman Dheer because I just feel Hardik has got a 5 for this year, was good with the ball in the beginning, and also in that knockout game, his 3 sixes towards the end was massive. Batting in that position, I would go Hardik.
Okay, so I'm off those 2 positions. I'm now going to focus on the batter. So you're saying Nehal Wadera, but the 2 of you affirm a Nicholas Pooran, so you will lose that vote.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gone Pooran for Naman Dheer. And even though Hardik Pandya's season tapered off with both bat and ball, he started it really well.
Yeah.
But I think all we need over here is for someone else to captain Hardik, and he'll be back into bowling 4 overs if needed. You need an extra seam bowling option. This team is you can either go with Naman Dheer as an extra spin option or Hardik as a seam bowling option. I just think Hardik will work fine as long as Shreyas is captaining him. I'm happy.
Correct. He will have Shreyas Iyer's captaincy there. And Tom, so Puran's locked at 6.
6.
That all-round position, number 7.
Mine's the other Pandya, Kunal.
Krunal does feature at 8 in our lineup.
Yeah, he's at 7 in mine.
Okay. So are you going 6 batters, Krunal 7, and then 5
Yeah,
bowlers?
I'm going 6 batters and an all-rounder at 7.
All right. So, okay, one vote
Because
for
if the
Krunal.
top 6 can't do it, we don't deserve to turn up.
So you've got Puran in for whom then in your team?
Namandhir.
Namandir.
So you do have Hardik and Krunal both.
No.
No.
He is changing his balance. He's keeping Krunal as 7
I got Kunal
and going
7,
with 5 bowlers.
and then I got my bowlers.
We'll come to that since you have the nod for Krunal. Is Krunal also part of your team?
Yeah, very much, because you need batting till 8 no matter how good your top 6 are.
Kunal, my team. He's obviously bowled well. Has got a man of the match because of his batting as well. So yeah, Kunal, my
All
team.
right.
See, I feel the reason I've gone Kunal, and you may think 7 is, but I think he's comfortably good enough player at about 7.
I have no doubt about that, Tom, but I'm guessing your bowlers from 8 to 12 will not necessarily be handy with the bat. If they are, then...
That's fine. I just need them to be handy with the ball.
Specialists.
Because bowlers win.
Okay.
Tom's going as specialist.
I mean, we've seen in the impact sub era that if you don't have batting till 8, it is... it's not necessarily the full utilization of your resources.
Yeah, I understand
In a team of
that.
the tournament, it's obviously you got much richer resources.
I understand that, and you've got on the impact bench, you've got more than one player. I know we're picking 12, but I'm taking that in mind that my 12th that I will announce in time is also sitting next to a very capable batter.
Very well then.
Okay. All right. So we do have Krunal for sure. I will leave a question mark in that number 7 position. Second spinner, specialist spinner, who's gone which way?
Noor.
Yeah, I've
No-brainer.
got Noor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 Noor.
3 Noors.
3 to Noor. So Noor locks it in. We had 3 specialist pacers. In Bumrah, Prasidh Krishna, Hazelwood, anyone debating any of those picks?
Not
No.
even for a second.
Thumbs
Brilliant.
Yep.
Which, because we need some time to debate the point of contention now. So which way do we see?
Let's hear Tom's
Yeah.
additional bowling resource instead of the all-rounder already.
No, I've told you that. Mine's the same as yours, the pace bowlers. Noor's my spinner.
Correct.
My 12th, is that what you're searching
Yes.
for?
Yeah.
My 12th is either Ashdeep or Namandir. So I've got the flexibility going into the contest. If it goes pear-shape at the top order, I've got a quality finisher that's done a great job for MI to come in and do what he does well. And if that's not the case, I bring a left-arm option into my attack that can bookend the game for me, bowl at the top, and it allows me just to buy a bit of time for Bumrah and maybe introduce him in the 3rd or the 5th over, and it just gives my bowling a lot more depth and flexibility.
Okay, just a question
Yes.
to Ronak and Tom. Why not Wadera instead of Namandir? I'm just keen to know what's in
For me, it's very marginal. I really like Wadera as well and what he's done. I just think what Namandir has done in the environment he's in and the small sample size that he's had a greater impact.
And I think the bit that does help Namandir is that in this batting lineup, there's no way he's batting anywhere above number 7. And as a finisher, his numbers, his death over strike rate of over 200, had
Yeah,
at least
towards
5
the
or
back
6
end.
knocks.
That was the role I was
impact
thinking.
innings.
So where I would, I'm certainly convinced with Tom's logic that the better way to pick this team is not a balanced 12, but a strong batting first or a strong bowling first team with 2 impact sub options. That is the more appropriate team of the tournament we can come up with. In which case, if you have to compromise on one batter for position, then Tim David suddenly makes a really strong argument, who's had a bigger impact than Namandir has. You have the option of the 4th overseas if you don't go in Puran's direction. So I'm just throwing that there.
We do.
Because we've all been in full agreement that you've got to have Puran somewhere in this.
Yeah.
And I think that answer, your point is absolutely valid, Yash, for Varun, that Wadera has been the best number 5 or 4 as an Indian batter. But once you have all these guys in, Surya, Shreyas, Puran, you're then looking for someone who's shown us
And
10, 12 ball impact.
Blitz.
Which
So,
is Namandir.
which is where now, if we have a vote between Namandir and Tim David for that role, just point out the numbers. Namandir, 250 runs at a strike rate of 180. Have to factor that David missed a few games with his injury. This was going into the final.
Yeah.
And he had 187 at a strike rate of 185. Namandir, 5 knocks of 20 plus at a strike rate above 190. Tim David 3 knocks of 20 plus at a strike rate in that range.
I'm not prepared to compromise Pooran in my side.
We are not.
But you can't have the additional overseas player. Only allowed 4 overseas
That is
players.
correct.
So I'm not prepared to compromise Pooran because I just think what he brings is so unique that it's hard to replicate. And I respect that David's had a great tournament, but not as good as Pooran.
That's actually a valid point. I got that overseas count wrong. If we have Pooran, there's no room for David. So are we convinced with Naman
Tim
Dhir?
David instead of Vadera, for sure, in my team.
There's no scope for David if we add Pooran.
I'll-
which we
I'll
have.
throw in-
I just have 3.
I would throw in only one alternative, even though we agreed unanimously on Noor Ahmed. I am happy for Digvesh Rathi to take the spinner's spot ahead of Noor to open up an overseas studio. I don't think there's been that much of a difference between Noor and Rathi, even though Noor has got the exceptional abilities here. We're talking about a guy who's been
you'll
thoroughly
see-
impressive
And
in
for
his
the
debut season.
benefit of our viewers, while you might point to the difference of 10 wickets, Digvesh Rathi did have an economy which was just over 8. He bowled 6 spells at economies under 7.5. So now where do we stand? Would you make the change of Noor and Rathi to bring in Tim David as the finisher? Or are you happy with Naman Dhir and Noor Ahmed in those respective positions?
I'm happy with Noor. I understand that argument, and there is a real point given what he's done and the point of difference he's brought to the IPL, but maybe next season.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, so we are approaching consensus. So are we? That means the two of you are left with picking that additional bowler to fit Tom's template.
I think that's
He's
a better
gone
way to pick
Arshdeep.
it. So we've gone, we basically go with this same batting,
Correct.
but instead of a Hardik Pandya in the team,
Yes,
we pick another bowler. Is that right?
that's. I mean,
Pick a
we're
bowler
effectively.
or a batsman.
Yeah.
Or that batsman might be a Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, so you've picked Pooran at number 6. The top
Yeah.
5 stays the same. Pooran's are number 6. I'm carding Naman Dhir at number 7. But now you also have to pick a bowling
so I've
substitute.
basically put Naman Dhir and the bowler like Tom
Correct.
in my on my bench. So picking 10 plus 2, it's sort of how you're framing the team rather than a balance
11 plus 2.
12.
Yes.
Was it 11 plus 2?
Yeah.
Have you picked 11?
We settled on 11.
Okay.
The 3 pacers, Bumrah, Prasidh, Hazelwood, Noor Ahmed, Krunal Pandya, these are the locks. The top 5 are locked. And now Pooran is locked as well. And we are picking an additional batter and bowler. The batter we've decided is Naman Dhir. Bowler, Tom says Arshdeep. Varun?
I'm going with Bumrah, Prasidh and Hazelwood. 3
One
bowlers.
additional bowler.
No, this is on the
This is
impact
on,
sub.
On the impact.
Okay,
Those 3 are
so
locked
we
in.
have to go Pooran.
Pooran's
because-
already done. Pick
yeah.
the bowler.
Okay, Arshdeep.
All right.
Yeah.
Arshdeep.
I think we're looking for a new ball bowler here. You've got Bumrah and Prasidh who would have, and Noor who would have attacking
Middle and death.
middle
yes.
and death overs. Hazelwood's there. So I'll just throw in Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, potentially, along with Hazelwood, who's formed a great great partnership. Arshdeep, I've just been a little bit disappointed with what's happened in the 2 big playoff games, or one virtual playoff and a playoff game.
The wickets drying off after the resumption. as
I
well,
hope
yes.
he goes well in the final. Or he's had a great final. He had a disappointing final as well. So for me, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar stroke Arshdeep Singh, I'm happy with either.
And with the majority, that then becomes Arshdeep Singh. All right, gentlemen, we've managed to do this in a more civil manner than I feared.
Surprised me.
There is our ESPN Cricinfo timeout team of the tournament for IPL 2025. Sai Sudarshan, Virat Kohli at the top. Joss Butler, Suryakumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer, Nicholas Pooran. Bat them where you want, when you want. They'll smash it. We've got Krunal Pandya as the all-rounder, Noor Ahmed specialist spinner, Bumrah, Prasidh, Hazelwood lead our pace attack, and we are keeping the impact option open. Arshdeep Singh with the ball, Naman Dhir as a batting finisher. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Who's the head coach? If it's Shreyas captain?
I propose
Well,
Tom Moody.
it depends who wins.
It's a Cricinfo team. Has to be Tom Moody.
Okay, you can be my
all right.
bowling coach. You can be the bus driver.
On that great note.
Literally the most important man there to get you to the ground.
On that great note, thank you so much, gentlemen. This is our team of the tournament for IPL 2025. What do you think? Tell us.
Ready for it. Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Excellent.